Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video, let's take a look at Bitcoin. How much patience do we still need on this price action? Are we getting weaker day by day? Are we failing to go higher? Is this week going to be a problematic week on Bitcoin, or is it just all what the price action needs to show us and turn around bullish from here? What are we looking at right now in Bitcoin? Because it's been around 2 to 3 weeks that Bitcoin has been going sideways, right? So in this video, let's talk about all of that, how we are starting this week on Bitcoin, what you are looking for, what are the potential targets this week, what to look for in the price action. With that, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Also, please hit the like and subscribe, guys. It helps out the channel a lot, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get back up on the weekly interval first. And so Bitcoin on the weekly interval, guys, it's a no-brainer that we are still in the bearish structure here on Bitcoin, okay? Nothing has really changed. Now, this is more of a downward channel as well, if you want to take it that way. There's a definitely overhead resistance line, but it coincides very nicely with also your bottom pivots down there, okay? So you can also look at as a in this downward channel as well. I'll leave it up here on the chart. I'm just gonna change the visibility of this only on the weekly interval. Okay, so anyhow, so on the weekly interval, we are in the downtrend in that downward channel. However, this does gives us still the possibility. Now, by 9th of March, if we want to still test $84,000, that once we get above $73,000, $84,000 will become our target. Okay. Now, if that has to happen, we have to though then start to get above $73,000. Now, that move until 9th of March is at the bottom. You can see the week I'm looking at it. So by the end of the 9th of March, technically, or that end of the week of the 9th of March, I mean. So you still have like 2-3 weeks. If by next week or by the end of this coming week, we can get above 73,000, 84,000 is still a possibility in this channel retest. Okay. But the point is that the proper strength on the weekly interval, even for a good rebound, will only start to build up when we start to at least regain that $73,000. And then we do have a room until $84,000, which, as I said, still going to be a weekly downtrend, but it's enough for some sort of good trades to the upside, right? And then what also happens is when we get to $73,000, that will also technically become a regain of a leg up, which then has a higher probability of just stabilizing here and then do a breakout. So $73,000 is so important right now to regain it, because that's what only is going to start the momentum and the shift in the dynamics and the sentiment on the bullish side for the longevity. Otherwise, no. So that's the first start that we have to see on Bitcoin there. Now, let's get to the daily interval. So as I just said, that from last 2-3 weeks, we have been just going sideways on Bitcoin. Is this a problem? Technically, price action is doing just as what it's supposed to do, guys. Okay, what I mean by that, we are in the downtrend. Okay, this 20 days moving average has just caught up with the price action. We will see a suppression of the price as this, especially 20 days moving average, get closer to the price action, and that's what we are seeing. So technically, it's not a surprise. Price action is just doing what it's supposed to do technically. Okay, so no, it's not worrisome. The worrisome would be the case as if we start to create distance from it to the downside again, and put that together with if we lose $65,000, that's where the next leg of problem becomes, because then we are no longer just waiting for a pivot confirmation here. We are then getting in the territory of potentially a double bottom then. But the problem is that once we lose 65,000, just getting to 60,000 will not mark a double bottom confirmation here. We'll have to come back and regain above $65,000. Yes, that can happen. But the problem is that it's gonna add a lot more duration and time and waiting game in the whole Bitcoin process to the upside. So that's where, you know, I know patience is the key, but guys, everyone has, limited time for everything, right? We don't have unlimited time for everything, all right? So patience is good, but calculated patience is what I'm saying is needed, okay? So anyhow, because the more and more the things takes longer, the sentiment starts to break more, right? Because um, there is only so long that someone can stand strong. In this case, I'm talking about a lot of bulls or a lot of buyers. Otherwise the sentiment starts to break, right? So anyhow, so far price action is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, not a problem. Let's get to the hourly interval. Okay, and things will get clear. You will see some more drawings here on my chart, which I'll explain right away. Now previously, let me actually get rid of this. I'll draw this again for you just so that I can explain it to you here while I'm doing that. So previously we were in this downward channel that I mentioned to you last time, that we are going down, and there is, upside will not begin unless we start to get out and above it. Once we start to do that, we got out of that lower moving channel right over here. You can see we did come down, but we retested and stayed above the top line of that channel, and then we were actually forming this, this particular channel right over here. Okay, it was following it nicely until it wasn't, right? So I'll get to that point right away. So it was following this channel very nicely, the newly formed channel. And let's change the color here to green. And as you can see, it had really good touch points, right? Until it wasn't. It did try to hold somehow here, but then it finally failed on this side of the things. Now this is what has, at least for now, that previously that I said that since overall structure is still bearish, guys, until 73,000, and even though until 84, but $73,000 is the first leg up, all these type of bounces may not hold much strength because these are just the rebounds. Overall structure is still technically negative. So you will see much more strengthful still, that even on the lower time frame multi-day, like negative downtrends, than a stronger uptrend, because uptrend right now are against the overall structure because they are just the rebounds. Now we have actually a little bit another downward running channel here on Bitcoin. And so this is where the next, level of little bit of a, you can say a problem, near-term problem on a Bitcoin again here. And we are going negative here on Bitcoin. So at this point, what you will have to wait and watch on this thing is, and I'm just going to really quickly adjust this just so that it's, a little bit more accurate here, but you get my point, right? Yeah, here we go. So the point is that, guys, we'll have to at this point start to get out and above of this channel. Better if we take this blue box out as well and get out above this channel as well, then only we will start to again become in a proper, multi-day strengthful trend again, and that's what will add more, little bit longevity, at least in the multi-day strength. Now the reason we are again forming that little bit of the lower trend that I just showed you, as you can see, 20 days moving average just caught up with the price action, so it's a little bit suppressing it now. It doesn't, really like puzzles me. It's what it's supposed to happen. The only thing I would be worried about if it starts to create a distance. Now we don't want to see a distance. We want to get out and above of this 20 days moving average soon, because if we don't do that, guys, then we are going for that, unfortunately, the next leg lower, right, which we want to avoid if we are bullish on Bitcoin. So, and also the point is that it's just not that we are being bullish on Bitcoin for no reason, right? Like on the weekly interval, which is a huge range, even though we are in the downtrend on the weekly interval, this is still a huge range to trade to the upside. We are targeting the bullish side on Bitcoin right now at the bottom of the channel. Excuse me. At a 200 weeks moving average, at a previous good price action. Okay, so you can't be bearish here. If you are saying, oh, yes, if overall is bearish, then why are you trying to trade bullish? Because, yes, we are trading the upside potential from here in the overall downward channel, but do we want to wait, right? If we short here, there is not much room down there. The much more room to trade and make money is to the upside right now, technically, with in probability. Okay, so that's the whole point. If you want to, if yes, downward channel, technically it's a short play, but there is a time when to short it. You can't short it here. You have to short it here at these places. And yes, as if it gets up to this top line of the channel, wherever it is, then it will be a short play again, unless it breaks out above that, right? So it's about understanding where the price action is. Just because it's in the downtrend doesn't mean every day the only thing you can do is short play. No, you have to understand the structure. So, and then how much horizon you have to trade and all of that. Okay, so that's where what the Bitcoin price action is right now. Now, I'm look, for me, it all comes down to, can we test $73,000 this particular week? If we can do it, great. 84,000 until the week of 9th of March is still possible. If we don't get out above or at 73,000 and 20 days moving average, definitely the first area that we need to get above. If we can't do that, then unfortunately, we are again, it's a long-term waiting game. As I just showed you, there is not much room right now to the downside trades here. Yes, multi-day, some more downside can happen here as if we stay in that channel still, the one that I'm showing you on the hourly interval. I still think that these are just a little bit of minor, retests and pullbacks. I just showed you 20 days moving averages suppressing the price action, but it's all about at this point gaining 20 days moving average or getting above that and then testing $73,000 this week. If we can do that, things will start to really look good on Bitcoin for the next coming weeks, and good upside trades are there then. Okay, so that's my take on Bitcoin. Again, just sharing my opinion. Please do what you feel like doing. Please also hit the like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, guys. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.